Now, let me walk you through my own experience using the miracle framework, starting with motivation. Initially, I was highly motivated, but as I soon realized that motivation alone is fleeting. Instead of relying on motivation, I focused on building sustainable habits. Whenever I saw blood in my stool, my motivation would spike, prompting immediate action. But as my symptoms improved, my motivation would wane. And to counter this, I found a deeper purpose. I refused to let my chronic constipation consume my life and derail my dreams of becoming an entrepreneur and serving others. This mindset shift was crucial. I didn't want to rely on medications because I had taken enough through my life. I had a particular disdain for pharmacological medications. Finding a permanent solution meant identifying my root causes. So I conducted a thorough assessment of my diet, hydration, sleep, movement, stress levels, environmental factors, and consumption of alcohol and caffeine. Let me start with diet. In 2016, when I moved to Boston from Nepal, my diet changed drastically. Back home, my meals were balanced, rich in pulses and green vegetables. In Boston, I ate more processed foods like sausages, pizza, cheese, and burgers, which lacked the necessary fiber to support healthy bowel movement. Next, hydration. I wasn't drinking enough water. Dehydration was evident, and pimples on my face were a clear sign. I learned that adequate hydration is crucial for softening stools and facilitating their passage. Next, sleep. My sleep patterns were irregular. I tried waking up at 4 a.m. consistently but often failed due to insufficient rest. I was sleeping less than 6 hours a night, which affected my overall health. Next, movement. My physical activity was minimal. In Nepal, I walked frequently, but in Boston, I dropped everywhere. My Fitbit showed less than 2,000 steps a day, highlighting my sedentary lifestyle. And talking about stress, moving to a new country, adjusting to a new environment, along with financial instability, contributed to high stress levels. Stress significantly impacts gut health, exacerbating constipation. And next, environmental factors. The extreme winter weather in Boston was a shock. I stayed indoors more, reducing my exposure to sunlight and contributing to vitamin D deficiency. Shorter daylight hours also affected my mood and energy levels. Alcohol and caffeine. While I wasn't a heavy drinker, my occasional consumption of alcohol and caffeine didn't help my condition. These can dehydrate the body and disrupt gut motility. So initially, my constipation was mild, but I became chronic and severe over time. Every bowel movement was painful, often accompanied by blood due to hemorrhoids and fissures. This made me fear going to the bathroom, creating a cycle of avoidance and worsening the symptoms. I also went through my medical history and my family history. I had gastrointestinal issues all my life. Starting early in my life, when I was 9 months old, I was declared dead in the hospital due to GI complications. Growing up, I frequently had upset stomach, which fortunately went away after my teenage years. However, before exams or presentations, I would rush to the restroom multiple times due to anxiety. Understanding the gut brain axis now makes sense of how anxiety triggered my bowel movements. My family history showed no major GI issues like cancer, but occasional constipation was common among my relatives. I also evaluated how different organs impacted my chronic constipation. Nervous system. Initially, I didn't understand how nervous system could impact constipation. Now I know the autonomic and the central nervous system, along with neurological conditions, can significantly affect gut motility. Talking about digestive system, I realized I wasn't chewing well, which is crucial for breaking down food properly. I also had stomach acid depletion affecting digestion. I didn't have small intestinal bacterial growth, SIBO, confirmed by a home baking soda test. My main issue was in the large intestine, where I lacked soluble and insoluble fibers affecting colonic function. My liver, gallbladder, and bile ducts seemed fine, though my stool color suggested a lack of healthy fats. So testing showed no thyroid issue and my pancreas was functioning well. Talking about circulatory system, lack of movement might have impacted blood flow to the intestines, but I had no cardiovascular diseases. Talking about immune system, I was generally healthy with a strong immune system, experiencing only occasional flu, and common cold symptoms. Next, I assessed my vitamins, minerals, enzyme, and hormone levels. My vitamin D and biotin levels were low, which are crucial for overall health and particularly important for muscle function, including those involved in bowel movements. My testosterone and other lipid levels were fine, but I monitored my bowel movements using the Bristol stool chart to become a scientist of my own body. My stools were often type 1 and type 2, indicating severe constipation. My bowel movements were episodic, often installment, often in installment rather than in one go. I also conducted clinical tests, including blood tests, colonoscopy, and endoscopy, which revealed H. pylori and gastritis, but ruled out severe life-threatening conditions. So, getting home and clinic tests are crucial to rule out complicated diseases. So, next in the miracle framework is remedy by demographics. At the time, in 2016, I was 31 years old male living in Boston with disposable income. I had a desk job and highly stressful environment as an entrepreneur or software professional. Working from home limited my movement. I had no dietary restrictions, though I preferred vegetarian food due to my wife's dietary choices. I mostly ate home cooked meals and preferred low cost, zero cost options. Next, when I move on to assessing my body type, I consulted an Ayurvedic doctor who classified me as Vata body type. So, Vata types are lean, susceptible to gas and flatulent, and prone to digestive disorders like chronic constipation. So, understanding my body type helped me tailor my diet and remedies more effectively. Regarding capability and opportunity, I'm fairly handy in the kitchen and I can cook complicated dishes. And also, living in an urban area, I had easy access to fresh produce and also could purchase ingredients online or offline. So, in terms of local and seasonal availability, I live in Boston, which has multiple seasons. For example, apples and berries are local, but green leafy vegetables are harder to find. Tropical fruits such as papaya, watermelon, and mangoes are available throughout the year, but I prefer them in the summer. Finally, evaluating affordability, I prefer DIY options to keep expenses low. I did purchase some supplements such as vitamin D and probiotics, but avoided pharmacological laxatives. Although I could afford supplements, I preferred natural remedies to keep costs down. So, based on the miracle framework, my motivation was high. My root causes were driven by lifestyle issues rather than structural diseases. As a 39-year-old with a Vata body type, I tailored my home remedies to fit my lifestyle, preferences, and resources. So, this comprehensive approach, guided by the miracle framework, helped me manage and ultimately overcome chronic constipation. In the next segment, I will discuss the specific home remedies during different stages of my journey, calming the pain, avoiding symptoms, repairing the gut, and elevating peak digestive performance. Stay tuned. And also, when it started, I was 39 years old. I started home remedies when I was 35. Now I'm 39 in 4 years of time. I have lived constipation free. Not only that, I have avoided the symptoms, I have repaired my gut and elevated the diet health performance and other peak performance. Now I am focusing on serving others by building GutSphere. Stay tuned. We'll talk more about miracle framework and home remedies.